however long it takes you guys to get it from your forehead to your mouth.
I need ya, I need ya, I need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling, I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, down, down. Running out of time. I really thought you were.
Last one, you're gonna take the whole thing and you're gonna stack as many of these on your forehead. So
I need you
stack
right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling. I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, don't let me down, down, down. Oh, I think I'm losing my mind now, yeah. Oh, I think I'm losing my mind.
Okay, we are here today with the Chief of Orem Police, Chief Giles. Thanks so much for taking a minute to spend with us today. We'll ask a few questions here. Let's start just by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Gary Giles. I'm the Chief of Police of the Orem Police Department. I grew up in Pleasant Grove from the area and have worked for the Orem Police Department basically since I was 18 years old. I started out as a dispatcher and worked my way through as a police officer to sergeant to lieutenant. And in 2012, I actually left the Orem Police Department and went to Texas, to Portland, Texas Police Department, became the Chief of Police there. That's right next to Corpus Christi, so right on the Gulf of Mexico. I was Chief of Police there for almost 2 years when the job as Chief of Police in Orem came open, and I just couldn't resist putting in for that, and I was fortunate enough to be able to come back to Orem, and I've been the Chief of Police here for 3 years now. What made me want to go into law enforcement? You know, I've wanted to be in law enforcement since as far back as I can remember. As a little kid, I always wanted to be a police officer. My brother-in-law was a police officer when I was 15 and 16 years old, and I rode with him all of the time, and I just was infatuated with it. I loved it. I enjoyed the job. I enjoyed the work that he did. I just enjoyed everything about it. When I turned 17, I actually went to the Pleasant Grove Police Department and volunteered. Asked them, just told them basically I would do anything that they wanted me to do, just if I could hang out around there and be a help to them. And they actually trained me as a dispatcher, and that was what got me started into the law enforcement field, was becoming a dispatcher. Eventually, when I turned 18, moved to the Orem Police Department, and then I've been here ever since. But I've just wanted to be a police officer ever since I was a little kid. What is my favorite thing about being a law enforcement officer? You know, I like being able to help people. I think that every day I come to work and I get to do different things every day. And people only call us when when they really need us. And so a lot of times they're in the worst times of their life and they need somebody to be there for them. And sometimes that is us. That's the police department. That's police officers that are there. And so I think that's the part that I like the most, is being able to help people. And just be there for them. Sometimes we're the comfort in the storm, and it gives me great comfort to know that that's something that I can do. You know, the scariest situation that I've ever been involved in, I think there are a lot of them that come to mind. One of the main ones that I think I would think of is a time when I was early in my career, and I was actually working as a police officer at a concert at Utah Valley University, when a gentleman, basically we were confronting him about some things in the parking lot, and he attacked me. He was trying to get my gun out of the holster. Fortunately, he was pulling on it and wasn't able to get it out, and I was trying to hold it in, and we were wrestling and fighting over it. This is in the days before the taser, and so basically I pepper sprayed him, hit him with a baton, and neither of them seemed to affect him. And we went on and on and on, and I felt like I was fighting for my life, just trying to keep that gun in the holster. Other officers got there, and eventually both of us really tired out. Luckily, he wasn't able to get that gun out of the holster, and we were able to arrest him. But that was a scary situation, because I knew if he got that gun, that things weren't going to go well. But you know, throughout my career, there have been a lot of scary situations, but I've enjoyed it, and luckily, I've been safe my whole career. If I had to do my career all over again, I would definitely change how fast I went through school. I did start college right after high school, and so I took a few classes here and there, but once I went in through the police academy and became a police officer, I thought that's where I wanted to be, and that's all I wanted to be. It took a long time. I took a class here and there. Once I got married and had children, it was a little more difficult to go to school, and it actually took me 18 years to get my bachelor's degree. Luckily, it only took me another 3 to get a master's degree, but if I had it to do over again, I would have gotten my bachelor's degree at least very early in my career rather than waiting as long as I did. A lot of times we're asked, what can I as the public do for the police department or to help the police department? Here in Orem, we're very community oriented. We try to put on a lot of activities to draw the community in. One of the things we utilize right now is social media. Our Facebook page is especially productive in the sense that we have over 40,000 followers now. Now, we actually have followers from all over the world because of the guy that runs the Facebook page. He's been able to get it out there quite a bit. But we have a lot of local people as well. And one example is last week, we actually had a burglary that happened at a gun store here in Orem. The burglar broke in and actually stole a couple of guns. And the next day, we actually posted the surveillance video on our Facebook page. So the photo went out, and an hour later, someone that had seen that Facebook post actually saw a guy that looked just like him, ironically, within a block of the store that was burglarized. So they called us, let us know. Within an hour of the Facebook post going out, we actually made contact with him. It was the same guy. He was wearing the same clothes, and we were able to arrest him within an hour. And so what I would say, especially in Orem, is stay in contact with the police department. Friend us on Facebook if you're on Facebook. We always every Tuesday at least, we put out photos of suspects and try to identify people. And it saves us hundreds of man hours of investigation when the public becomes involved, because people know who these people are. And if they can let us know and if they can help us, it helps us substantially to be able to be freed up for other cases and to be able to investigate other things, because the public is very important to us here in Orem. All right, so the question on panhandlers and how do we treat panhandlers, or how do we react as far as being citizens? You know, we live in a community where we all want to help. We all want to be a part of giving to other people. And I think that's where we get preyed on a lot of times as well. One of the things that I would suggest is don't give to panhandlers. There are people that are in need, and there are some of those panhandlers that really are needy, but there are so many outlets and so many sources that will better serve them than just giving them money. There are several cities that do have ordinances that actually make it illegal to hand someone money from a vehicle. So it would actually make it illegal. Orem does not have that ordinance right now, but the more the panhandlers go back and tell their friends that Orem residents give money to them, the more it draws in. And we don't have the resources to have people on every corner. There are resources such as the Food and Care Coalition, the United Way, several places that you can donate to that do not support the panhandling out on the street. Many of those panhandlers, it ends up in turning into drugs, to alcohol. It doesn't help them get an apartment, get a job, live day to day. And that's the thing that they need the most, is they need the vocational training. They need rehabilitation sometimes. And if you give to the charities, you're going to get a lot. We as society are going to get a lot more out of it. And the panhandlers will not be flocking in droves, just like a flock of seagulls when you start throwing bread. More and more start coming.